What if that little voice that you've been doubting and not valuing turned out to be exactly right? What if that little voice has been your clearest guide of all this entire time? That you have been your clearest guide of all this entire time? Hello. Welcome back. I'm Kristen, and you are in the good here with me right now. And today's journaling ritual is about creating a space where you can lean into your own personal truth and begin to release doubt, to begin to release that little voice that wants to destroy your confidence in what you're feeling into, what you know to be true. I kind of want to tell you, I believe you. I totally believe you. You're right. As absurd as it might be, you're right. Even though being right can make you feel perhaps confused or overwhelmed, or as gratifying as it is, perhaps overwhelming. There's grief attached to being right about this thing. But nonetheless, you're right. And this is a space to honor your truth and to process it in whatever way is going to help you to move through and integrate this place, this knowledge that your intuition was totally spot on. And that is what our journaling ritual today is going to take us through. So let's just lean back, relax wherever you are. It doesn't matter. You can just know that you're here and be present as you listen to the space and the sounds of my voice. Focusing on the space between the words. And from that place, dropping into your heart. Just a little bit more as you take a deep breath in and out, trying to release whatever has happened so far today, or at least put it aside for a moment while you take a little bit of self-care, a moment to reflect, to release, to let go, to do the processing that is important for this particular phase and cycle that you are in the middle of. Perhaps it's something that's winding down and closing out. Perhaps what you're about to write is a bit of a goodbye letter to you, to your inner child, to a specific person. And it's something private and only for you. And so just, feeling your seat wherever it is, feeling your arms, beginning just to slow down, to not feel the rush to grab the pen and grab the journal and to ferociously scribble. Although if that's what's happening naturally for you, or that's what's coming into the flow of things, absolutely do that. But as I always like to say, to start with leaning into a great slowness, because in a slowness there is more room for your presence to be present. And to have faith in yourself, have faith in your truth, have faith that you can trust your intuition more, that this is all part of, you know, the cycle of life that is serving you to your highest and greatest good right now, and that these are lessons that have been important, and there's no need to stay in this constant place of processing, this constant space of being in the lesson of it. Maybe you can begin to integrate those lessons and step forward into your life and begin to have these new perspectives on trusting your truth, your intuition, what you know that you know that you know. To believe yourself, to have that place in your heart where, regardless of what anybody else says or thinks, you believe. And I believe you too. It's a little bit of David White before we go in. This is a poem called Faith. I want to write about faith, about the way the moon rises over cold snow night after night, faithful even as it fades from fullness, slowly becoming the last curving and impossible sliver of light before the final darkness. But I have no faith in myself. I refuse to even the smallest entry. Let this then, my small poem, like a new moon, slender and barely open, be the first prayer that opens me to faith. Have a wonderful journaling journey, and I will see you on the other side. Welcome back. Just taking a deep breath and slowly putting down your pen and closing your journal and setting it aside for now. Let's grab a little bit of insight, knowing that whatever you left on the page, that you've tapped into something that's very important. And that whatever you left on that page, that you released onto that page, can stay released. Whatever new perspectives or insights came in, those now get to be integrated. You get to carry those new truths, this new clarity of personal truth, of knowing what you know is that you know, and that most importantly, it's true for you, and that nobody else matters in this moment. It's true for you. And I guarantee that as the clarity sets in, at some point down the road, maybe sooner rather than later, you just might find some evidence coming in, some new, let's say some things that maybe have been hidden to others coming to light. And maybe that's enough evidence to kind of kick you into, oh, you know, I get to believe myself every single time now. I get to trust my gut every single time now. No matter how absurd, silly, wild, weird, unbelievable it might be to others, that there's this place, and you know it. There's a feeling in the body that you have, like somewhere in your gut, in the back of your heart. Maybe it feels like an expandedness in your heart. Maybe that truth makes you feel contracted somewhere in your body, but you know that it's telling you something important. Did I tell you I believe you? Okay. So art. I'm actually going to open up the Death Doula and read what they have to say about art. Oh, we're gonna have to hold while I find it, because do a little bit of editing here, Rachel, because this book is kind of crazy and it's not easy to find. So hold with me here for a second while I find art. And it's totally not easy, but I've said to the people that I'm gonna do this. This is why I don't like to read from the actual book, because these sorts of things happen and I'd rather just trust my intuition. All right, we're gonna have to hold for quite a bit. You're gonna have to hold with me because I really actually can't find art at all. Okay, so this book is actually not explaining. Oh, wait a second. Unprocessed. Most of this book is a whole process. It is about processes. And of course, the words are like the size of half the size of an ant. Okay, we're ready to read. Art is an occasion or object that a viewer deems as such. Often our darkest moments or struggles hold the most beautiful art within them. Transmuting those obstacles into tangible or conceptual art is often how we learn, grow, and strengthen through moments of adversity. This card encourages you to notice and actualize and appreciate the art. So the art in your life can be anything that is meaningful for you. So it's about creating, I think creating from your heart. What is creativity to you? Maybe it's cooking, maybe it's trying different wines, maybe it's going out into nature and finding new places to hike, or appreciating the nature that you have in a city, looking outside of your window and seeing the trees, and that brings a certain amount of inspiration and creation. I think when we're having doubt, in believing in ourselves, often for me, I can feel this lack of inspiration overall. And that place of creativity, that could be even you want to create a new business, or you want to create an expansion of something in your life, your work in the world, you've been doing it a certain way and you want to create it or expand it so it includes something else, or it cuts something off and replaces it with something else. Perhaps you want to create a family or a new relationship, and there's a kind of lack of inspiration, a lack of trusting that place where you can deep dive into your believing in yourself enough to take a risk on yourself. So maybe that is something that you can begin to marinate on as you come out of this process today in this journaling ritual. Thank you. I appreciate you, and I hope that you will please give me a thumbs up as it helps the channel. And this channel is a work of art I'm trying to create, an expansion I'm trying to create. It's a place where it is, it's my boundaries of trusting myself and, leaning into my creativity and believing in my personal truth and the things that I have to say matter. And so I want to thank you for being a part of that process with me. So give me a comment and let me know what you think, or please share something that came up for you in your journaling that maybe you'd like some community support on. I promise that if you comment, I will at least comment back, and my hope is to grow a place where we can all comment and help each other and be supportive to each other in this unwinding, chaotic, and yet completely awe-inspiring world at the same time. And that we can be with each other regardless whether it's awe-inspiring or chaotic, or perhaps even find the awe-inspiring in the chaotic here together as a community. So if you're inspired to do so, I hope that you will subscribe, and also let me know what other kinds of topics and what kind of journaling prompts you would like, or how I can serve you, or I can help guide you through these prompts. Would you like a little bit more meditation? Did you enjoy the poetry? Would you like a little bit more oracle card reading in it? I am here to serve you, and please let me know exactly what you need. All right. See you next time. Bye.